everybody, welcome back to my channel, Homemaker-in-Progress. It is a beautiful sunny Saturday, and today I'm going to be doing my next video in the series, 30 meals for 30 days, and I've got some yummy ones this time, so stick around as I show you how to make them. So first up, breakfast for dinner. Just in case you were unsure, it is totally okay to have breakfast for dinner. So we've been doing this for breakfast on Saturdays, but also I really like breakfast for dinner, so go ahead and try it. Next up, I pressure cooked and then slow cooked this pork in the Instapot. The reason that I pressure cooked it was because I thought I was going to eat it for dinner that night, and then we didn't, so I just let it sit for a while. But pretty basic seasoning, some salt, pepper, garlic, and also some paprika. And I add some water and some butter to just give that flavor and also so that it doesn't stick. Then I pressure cooked it for an hour and a half and slow cooked it after that. And look what you get. Just like tender, fall apart. And I like these kinds of recipes because then I can use the meat for other things. The next thing that I made was like an avocado sauce. So I went and got some stuff at Safeway because I didn't have a ton of things, but I got this mixture of onion and cilantro that I blended up. I also cut up some avocado to add to this. Added some Greek yogurt. I buy pretty high fat percentage and mix that together. And also season salt, pepper, and garlic. I also ended up adding some ranch to this. Then I took that leftover pork that I had and I heated it up in my cast iron. I've got some shredded pepper jack cheese here, and then there's the sauce that I've added the ranch to, so I blended that again. And then I made this like nacho taco salad sort of style. So I had the pork at the bottom, then topped that pork with the cheese. And then I added these greens to the top of that. And then I topped that with the avocado sauce. My husband says when I experiment, it's 50-50, and this was on the good half, so that's a plus. So then I just have some tortilla chips on the side there, and that was the meal. And here's a little tidbit of me trying that. Then I used that leftover pork for lunch the next day with that avocado sauce, and I have some yam on the side there. So it was just a nourishing, good meal for me to have for lunch the next day. All right, so next up, I made chicken Alfredo, but not chicken. I did ground beef, and I was hesitant, guys, to try this because I'm like, ground beef with Alfredo, like, does not sound appetizing. But surprise, surprise, it was actually good. So get some water in a pot and season with some salt. And then I have, oh guys, I can't even remember what this pasta is called, but not fettuccine noodles. And I boiled those. Added a bit too much, but that's okay. Here we go. And I did make this a little bit different than I normally do with my cheeses because I accidentally bought Romano. Not that I accidentally bought it, but I had grabbed it at the store, and then my daughter decided to put it in her mouth, and so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going to be buying this now. So I did a mixture of Parmesan and Romano cheese in my traditional Alfredo sauce, which is just butter and heavy cream and the cheese, and then seasoning, so salt. If you want to add pepper, you can, and garlic, either fresh garlic or garlic powder. So add the butter to your pan, and I would say like half a stick of butter, so probably about 4 to 6 tablespoons, somewhere in there. And then some heavy cream, maybe about a cup of heavy cream, and just mix that together on the stove. And then once it's heated up a bit, you can add your cheese to that sauce so that it can melt into it. Get some fresh garlic here that I smashed, and then I just kind of like slice it, chop it kind of thinly, not even super thinly, but just enough so that you can put it into your mixture. And I did add pepper to my sauce as well. mixing that up together. And basically you just mix it and cook it until it becomes like semi-thick. So not as thick as like a roux, but definitely not like ultra watery. Once that sauce is done, then I added it to my cooked ground beef and let those sit together. So here's how I serve it. I take the pasta, put that at the very bottom, and then I top with my beef and sauce mixture. And I was pleasantly surprised to find that it actually tastes good. All right, guys, so next I made a turkey. I have had a turkey in my freezer for months, so I was like, okay, this is what I have for meat, so I'm going to cook. And I have never cooked a raw turkey before, so this is my first time. And I seasoned it with some salt and some pepper here, and I got it in a pan, and I was just planning to basically leave it in the oven all day. So I had kind of like looked up a recipe, but I did not follow it. But I've seen where you put like butter under the skin, or maybe it's on top, I'm not even sure. But I used ghee, and I basically just like sat it on top of the turkey. I have had ghee for a little while now, and I don't really love the taste of it. So I don't know if it's something that's more of an acquired thing. But I was like, okay, it's fat. Turkey, I think, is a fairly lean meat, so I'm just gonna like put some ghee on top of it, and hopefully it'll kind of do the same thing as adding butter. And I really didn't measure. I was just like spooning it on and then like semi spreading it out. And then I cooked it in the oven for like, I put it in just before 11 o'clock, and I got it out around 6, and it cooked at like 325 at that time. And then I had taken off the top so that it could get some crispy skin, and cooked it for another like maybe half an hour. So then I served that with some spinach and rice. So FYI, that turkey was like over 20 pounds, and so I still have leftover meat. And I'm like, I had this idea. I'm like, okay, I will make turkey pot pie. And so here I am just doing some prep. I have some onion, and I also do some celery and some carrots, and then cook those down in some olive oil in the pan and just let them get soft. And then season however you really like. For me, this is salt and pepper. I also made a little roux because I ended up adding broth to the turkey pot pie, so I kind of wanted it to be a little bit thicker. And roux is just fancy for butter and flour, and you just make it thick. And then I added some milk to mine after that. And you can see that it's kind of like this thick mixture. And then I also added some turkey into the pot pie, and I had some of the leftover like broth from the turkey, the one I cooked it, so I added that as well. Then I put the roux into the pot pie, and I just like mix it all together. I decided to also add some fresh garlic to that mixture before I topped it with the pie. So I had already made pie dough because I was making an actual pie. And then I had leftover pie dough, and I was like, oh, I should make turkey pot pie. So I just kind of like took little pieces of that, and I put it on top of the mixture that I already have before I bake it. Just kind of like filled it in, and then I put it in the oven and baked it. I don't really remember what temperature it was. I think maybe 375. And I just let that bake for like 20 minutes almost. No, I don't even know if it was exactly 20 minutes. So the crust gets crispy. And there you are. And it was so yummy. Like hearty, warm, yummy food. And it was just made because I had some leftover stuff. So proof that you can turn what you have into yummy food. So much for watching Homemaker in Progress. I hope this was fun for you guys.